Hello everyone, I am Akshay Parmar, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in ITICT department. Welcome to the video tutorial series of the data communication and the computer networks. Today we will see an interesting data communication topic, the layered architecture, and we will see the basics of the OSI model with an outline of this today's video. We will see the fundamental of the network communication. What is the hardware, what is the software, how they are communicating, right? After that, we will see the need of the standard protocol for the data communication. After that, we will see the layered task. After that, we will see one real life example in the context of OSI model architecture. Let's begin with the network communication and fundamental of the network. Network is a combination of the hardware and the software that sends the data from one location to the another specified location, right? So the network is made from the hardware and the software both. What do you mean by the term hardware and what do you mean by the term software? Then hardware is a physical equipment, right? That you can touch, right? The hardware is a physical equipment that carries the signal from one point of the network to the another point of the network, right? So the hardware is a physical equipment. Okay, right? The software is an instruction set that enables the service that we expect from the network, right? So basically the software is the instruction set, right? The software is an instruction set that enables the service that we expect from our network, right? The network activity involves the sending of the data from one location to the another. The network activity involves the sending of the data from one computer to the another system, right? This complex process can be broken into the different and sequential tasks, right? So the sending of the data from one point of the network to the another point, we can divide that complex task into the different and the sequential tasks that we have to perform one by one. That sequential tasks are the recognize the data, right? First of all, whenever we are sending the data, we have to recognize the data, what type of data we want to send and what type of data we are receiving, right? After that, recognizing the data, what type of data we want to send. After that, we have to divide that particular data, that big data, into the manageable chunks, right? After dividing the data into the manageable chunks, we need to add the relevant information. The relevant information such as the sender's location, the receiver's location, right? Add the relevant information to the each of the chunk of the data, that to determine the location of the data and to identify the receiver, right? After that, we need to add timings and the error checking information. After adding the timing and the error checking information, we can recognize the sequence of that manageable chunks so that we can merge that manageable chunk and get our actual data that is recognized earlier, right? And after adding the timing and the error checking information, we will put the data into the network. After adding the timing and the error information, we will put that data into the network, and by the physical medium, the network will transfer from one location to the another. This is how the network is sent from sender location to the another. After reaching to the receiver's location, the reverse uh, the reverse process is checking, like it is reading the timing and the error checking information, and we will identify the sequence of the manageable chunks. After that, we will see the its location from sender's location and the receiver's location. Is it is sent to us or not, right? After that, we will see the information about the chunks ID, and by that we can arrange that chunks into the one data, right? So this is how the background process of sending the data from sender to receiver is working. With the rapid growth of the networking hardware and the software, we need a arose for the standard protocol. The standard protocol that could allow hardware and software from the different vendor to communicate, right? In the earlier days, the hardware or the software from the different vendors cannot communicate, right? After that, the need of the standard protocol arise. In that need, in the response of that need, the two primary set of the standards were developed: the OSI model and the modification of that standard, that is called the project 802, right? In the response of that need, two primary set of the standards were developed. The first one is OSI reference model, and after that some modification is done and another standard protocol is developed, which is called the project 802, right? Layered task, right? We use the concept of the layered in our day-to-day life, right? We divide the task in some different manageable chunks so that we can do that task efficiently. As an example, let us consider two friends who communicate through the letter, right? So by the communicate through the letter, we need a service, that is post office service, right? Imagine an scenario where you want to send a letter to your friend, but there is no any postal service available, right? So that process of the sending a letter to your friend would be a really complex, right? So let's see the actual background process behind the sending of the letter from you to your friend, right? So here you are a sender and your friend is a receiver. We can divide the task, right, in the higher layer, middle layer and the lower layer. In the higher layer task, you as a sender will write the letter by hand or get printed, put that letter into the envelope and drop into the mailbox, right? This is the higher layer task done by you. After that, the middle layer task at the sender task will perform. In the middle layer task, the letter that is dropped by you into the mailbox is carried out to the post office. That is the task of the middle layer, right? After that, the lower layer task is performed, right? After that, the lower layer task is performed. In that, the envelope which is reached to the sender's post office will be carried in the physical medium to the receiver's post office at the receiver and side's post office. So this is done by which can be done by a road, which can be done by an air, or which can be delivered through the ship or anything, right? So the parcel can be carried to the source to destination in any transmission media, right? So this is how the higher layer, middle layer and the lower layer will work at the sender side, right? After that, the post office will drop the letter in your mailbox, right? This is the middle layer task is done by the postal service. After that, the middle layer task is performed, where that envelope which is reached at the post office will drop the letter in your mailbox, right? After that, the higher layer task will perform. After that, the higher layer task will perform. In that, your friend will collect that envelope from his or her mailbox. He will open that envelope and read. In the higher layer, the envelope will collected by your friend from his or her mailbox. Open the envelope, and read your warm letter, right? So this is how the sending a letter from you to your friend. The background process are divided into the layer. The higher layer, middle layer and the lower layer is performed, and the transmission media will connect the two post office from sender side to the receiver side. The transmission media will connect the sender side and the receiver side in the physical way, right? So this is how the day-to-day life layered task is performed. The right? Right? Activity involves at the sender side, receiver side, and the carrier side, right? The activity at the sender side is the higher layer. As we discussed, in the higher layer, sender will write the letter, insert a letter into the envelope and writes the sender and receiver's address and drops envelope into the post box, or we can say the mailbox, right? In the middle layer, that envelope is picked by the carrier and delivered to the post office. After that, in the lower layer task performed at the sender side, the letter is sorted in the post office and sent it through the transmission media, which can be the by road, by air, or by ship, or we can say it by water, right? So this is how the envelope will transfer or transmit from sender side's post office to the receiver side's post office, right? On the way activity, the letter is transferred by the road or by air or any kind of transmission media. So on the way activities are the transmission media, right? So this is how the letter will transfer from sender's post office to the receiver post office, right? The activity at the receiver side, right? This is done from lower layer side to the higher layer side. In the middle layer, the post office will sorted out the envelope and delivered to the your friend's mailbox, right? At the higher layer task, your friend will pick in the higher layer task, your friend will pick up the letter from the mailbox, open the envelope and read your letter, right? So this is how the layer task is performed in our day-to-day life, right? Let's move forward toward the OSI reference model. Let's move forward about the example of the OSI reference models architecture, right? First of all, remember the statement, all people seems to need data processing, right? Remember the statement, all people seems to need data processing. By this statement, you can easily remember the sequence of the layer of the OSI. Here we will take an initial from the word, all people seems to need data processing. We will take A from all, P from people, S from seems, T for to, N for need, D for data, and P for processing. By that we can easily remember the sequence of the layer of the OSI reference model. After the application layer, the presentation layer is here. After that the session layer, after that the transport layer, after that the network layer, after that the data link layer, and at the end the physical layer is there. So by the help of that statement, all people seems to need data processing. By that statement, we can easily remember the sequence of the layers of the OSI reference model. For the better understanding of the OSI reference model, let's discuss an example. By through, we can easily understand the task which is performed by each of the layer. I am the owner of the company, right, which is located at the Ahmedabad, and I want to send a data to Mr. A, whose company is located at the Rajkot, right? For that, I want to send a 400 pages document to the Mr. A. Assume a scenario where I want to send a 400 pages document to the Mr. A. I understand English only, and Mr. A is a local vendor who will understand only the local language, which we can say that the Gujarati only, right? So if I have written a document in the English language, how the Mr. A will understand that document, right? Let's see the background process, how the data from my company to the company of the Mr. A, which is located at the Rajkot, will transmit our data in the context of the ASI, in the context of OSI reference model architecture, right? I will send that later. I will send that document which is written in the English to my PA, the Prakash, I can say, right? The P for Prakash. We name the employee in the context of our layer, right? So the Prakash for the presentation layer. So the Prakash as a presentation layer, right? Prakash will get the document which will have to send the data to the Mr. A. Prakash is already knowing that the Mr. A understand only the local language Prakash is already knowing that Mr. A understands only the local language, the Gujarati, right? So the Prakash will translate the data from English to Gujarati, which is understandable by the Mr. A, right? So Prakash will translate that document into the Gujarati language, right? That 400 pages document is now translated into the 400 pages written in the Gujarati, right? Prakash will send that document to the Sushant, right? Sushant will get the document, that 400 pages document written in the Gujarati, right? And the Prakash will say that the Sushant, we need to send this document to the Mr. A's company as early as possible. So this is so now this is your task. You need to deliver this document to the Mr. A's company. So the Sushant have to communicate to the Mr. A's company with the Mr. S, which have the similar kind of post. So the Sushant will call to the Mr. S and ask about company's timing and all that, right? Sushant thinks that if this 400 pages important document is lost during the transmission, my job will maybe in the danger. So Sushant will divide that document into the manageable chunk. He will divide the 400 pages document into the 100 pages rack. Name that into the first 100 pages, second 100 pages, third 100 pages, and fourth chunk of 100 pages, right? After that, the Sushant will send that manageable chunks to the Tushar, right? So that 4 different chunks are sent to the Tushar. Tushar will observe that all the packets are delivered to the Rajkot based Mr. A's company. So he will collect all the chunks and put them in the envelope and label them. This is from the Ahmedabad based Mr. Akshay's company, and this is and the receiver of this envelope is the Rajkot based Mr. A's company. So the Tushar will put all the 4 different 100 pages divided document into the envelope and label the envelope. This is comes from the Ahmedabad and this has to be delivered to the Rajkot, right? After that, Tushar will give this that open envelope to the Nishant, right? Nishant will observe that this envelope is have to send to the Rajkot and this is from our company. But what if this envelope is open? So anyone can read this important document in the middle of the transmission, right? Nishant get that open envelope, right? Nishant thinks that if anyone in the middle of the transmission will open this important document and read this, our company may can suffer. So Nishant will close the envelope by sticking. So the Nishant will close the envelope by some gluing material, right? So now the envelope is closed, right? After that closed envelope is sent to the Dhaval. Nishant will send that envelope into the data link layer and observe that this envelope is sticked by the gluing material, right? So anyone can open the envelope, access the data, the important data, and after accessing the data or after the reading that important document, they can put them into the same envelope, stick with the same gluing material, and no one can know. So Dhaval will put a rubber stamp on the closed envelope. So by that, if anyone in the middle of the transmission will open the envelope, they have to remove that rubber stamp, and this cannot be put same as before. So the Dhaval will ensure about the data. So Dhaval at the data link layer. So the Dhaval at the data link layer will assure the data authentication, right? After that rubber stamp sealed envelope, he will send that envelope to the path. The path work at the physical layer, right? The path will send the data to the Rajkot. Dhaval has assured the data authentication, right? After that, Dhaval will give the envelope to the path and say that take a national highway number 8. By that you can reach to the Rajkot as early as possible, right? So the path will take a national highway number 8. We can say that the guided media, or we can say the wire by the road, right? They can send the data envelope from the by air also, right? So that can be the unguided media. So the path will deliver the data by the road transport national highway number 8. and the reach at the Rajkot based Mr. A's company's physical layer. Mr. P at the receiver end of the physical layer of the Mr. A's company will receive the sealed envelope. He will send that envelope to the Mr. D. So the Mr. D will assure that the seal is properly there, right? So no one has accessed the data in the middle of the transmission, so that they can assure about the data authenticity. So Mr. D will remove that stamp and give that closed envelope to the Mr. N, who is working at the network layer of the Mr. A's company. Mr. N will observe about it is from the Ahmedabad based Mr. A's company, and this is sent to the Rajkot, right? So it will assure about the destination address, right? After that, it will open the document. After assuring about the destination, Mr. N will open the envelope and send that envelope to the Mr. T, who is working at the transport layer of the Mr. A's company, which is located at the Rajkot. After getting that open envelope, Mr. T will bring the document and see that all the documents are divided into the 100 pages chunks, right? After that, Mr. T will send that 4 different chunk of 100 pages to the Mr. S, who is working at the session layer, right? After getting that 4 different chunks, Mr. S will observe that all are belong from the same document. After that, Mr. S will combine that all the document in the sequence from the first 100 pages. After that, he will put the second 100 pages. After that, the third 100 pages and the last 100 pages, right? This is how the actual data which is sent by the Mr. A is collected, right? Mr. S will observe that this is the data for which Mr. Sushant has asked me about our company's timing and all that. So the Mr. S will call the Mr. Sushant and acknowledge about that they have received the data which is sent by them, right? So this is how the data from Ahmedabad to Rajkot is delivered, right? After that, Mr. S will send the data to the presentation layer, Mr. P, and at the end, Mr. A will read that document. This is how an example of how the OSI reference model architecture is working. We will see the actual working of the OSI reference models architecture in computer network in brief in our next video, right? So in this lecture, we have observed a layered task, how the layered task is working, right? So let's discuss about the key points that understand from the above example. What do you understand by the above example? Each task is to be carried out in the order of the hierarchy, right? Each task is carried out in the order of the hierarchy. Mr. Akshay is sending the data to the lower layer. After that, they will send the data to the lower layer and write like that, right? The complexity is task is reduced by the applying the layering technology, right? Just like each and every person has done its own unique task. Each layer at the sender side uses the service of the layer immediately below it, right? Sender at the higher layer uses the service of the middle layer, and the middle layer users uses the service of the lower layer, right? And the lower layer service which is using the service of the carrier. Here, this is how the layered task is done, right? So in this video, we have seen the basics of the network, hardware and software and all that. But after that, we have seen why there is need of the standard protocol. After that, we have seen 2 examples of the layered task in the 2 different models, right? Of the one is the post office service and other in the context of the OSI model architecture, right? We'll discuss the actual OSI model in the computer networks in brief, right? Thank you for the watching.